Hello guys, this is Liam aka Blue Motor here, and I am not doing a song reaction today, but I am actually gonna do a music review on a metal band called Motley Crue. So, Motley Crue, its notable lineup is Nicky Sixx, the bassist, Tommy Lee, the drummer, Mick Mars, the guitarist, and finally Vince Neil, the lead singer. So in this video, this time I'm not gonna just talk about albums or songs that I know personally, but elaborate on the history of Motley Crue. All of their albums, their not just their studio albums, but live albums, greatest hits albums, and all that jazz. So let's get started with that. So the first studio album they did was Too Fast for Love, and it came out in 1981. Its singles from that album include Stick to Your Guns and Livewire. Note that I have not actually heard these two songs before, so I'll have to give them a listen and see what I think. But their second studio album that I know pretty well is Shout at the Devil from 1983, and singles from that album include Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill, Helter Skelter, and Too Young to Fall in Love. Now, if you guys remember that I did a song reaction to Looks That Kill a few months ago, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. But I also like Shout at the Devil. So, but I have not heard Helter Skelter nor Too Young to Fall in Love. But I do know Shout at the Devil and Looks That Kill. So, moving on to the next album, Theater of Pain from 1985, which gave the band a more of a glam metal type, as we have Smokin' in the Boys' Room and Home Sweet Home. Now, Home Sweet Home, I feel like, is the most power ballad-like song that Motley Crue did, because it starts with piano, and then it gradually goes up to, like, hard rock, or as they call it, glam metal, because I'm not sure what to say, but yeah, starts with piano and then gradually goes to rock, and then at the end it goes to just solid piano again. So yeah, I like that song as well as Smokin' in the Boys' Room, but Home Sweet Home is, in my opinion, their most power ballad-like song. And then we'll be moving on to Girls, Girls, Girls from 1987, and of course, one of the singles is Girls, 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 but also they have You're All I Need and Wild Side, which was apparently an MTV favorite, according to what I found. So the only song I know from this album is obviously Girls, 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 because I tend to hear it on my classic rock station. But good album also. And then before we get to their best album yet, they did an EP album called Raw Tracks in 1988. But there were no new songs in there, I don't think. There were just remixes of previously done songs. So we'll just leave that be. But their best album yet is the Dr. Feelgood from 1989, and their hits include Dr. Feelgood, Start My Heart, Without You, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, and Same Old Situation, SOS. And my favorite would be Hit Start My Heart. So yeah, I like to hear Hit Start My Heart on the radio when it comes on. And that's pretty much my favorite Motley Crue song, and Dr. Feelgood, the song is pretty incredible too. So, and I do feel like Hit Start My Heart fits the album pretty well. So, thumbs up to the best album yet. And then, as we move on to the 90s, we have a greatest hits album titled Decade of Decadence, 81 to 91, from 1991. And their new single is Primal Scream, which I have not heard before, but of course, since this is a greatest hits album, all the songs they previously did that I know are in there too. And then now we're just gonna talk about just the other 90s albums that I found out about but not familiar with too much. We have their self-titled album called Motley Crue, Generation Swine, 2 compilation albums titled Greatest Hits and Supersonic and Demonic Relics, and then another EP album called Quaternary. And then in 1999, they released a live album titled Live, Entertainment or Death. And then we move on to the 2000s with another studio album called New Tattoo. And then we also got Music to Crash Your Heart 2 Volume 1 and Volume 2, Red, White, and Crüe, Loud as I apologize for saying that word, but I am gonna censor it. And another live album titled Carnival of Sins Live. And then in 2008, another studio album, Saints of Los Angeles. And then in 2009, they reissued their greatest hits album from 1998. And then in the 2010s, the only album they did was the Dirt soundtrack. So yeah, there've been a few. So throughout the history of Motley Crue, there's been a few changes of members during their career. Vince Neil temporarily left in the early 90s and then returned in the late 90s. Tommy Lee, the drummer, briefly left also, but then returned in the 2000s. And then currently, Mick Mars is no longer part of the band, but currently the band Motley Crue is still going good as it was, but of course maybe obviously not as good as it used to, but Motley Crue is still legendary, like how they were in the 80s. So, yep, thumbs up to Motley Crue for being amazing. If you don't know about Motley Crue, I recommend listening to their music. So, I guess this concludes my review of the metal band Motley Crue. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below other reviews you want me to do. Music reviews, movie reviews, game reviews, TV show reviews, all that jazz, whatever review you want me to do. Stay tuned for more videos. This is me, over and out.